So we have our incomes, we have our outcomes for my finances, and we can go to our website and add and delete and change them. And so what do we do about the balance? So if we go to the models, we have, okay, so we have income and it's working correctly, and then we have outcome and it all works fine. And then we have this balance here that we need to figure out what do we do with this, because I'm thinking now my idea of kind of, you know, using balance as a check for whatever's going on with our balance, either current or savings, it doesn't really make sense because it should be actually working off of the, you know, incomes and outcomes. But I'm also thinking it could be useful, and I think I want to use it this way. Balance will be this balance check. So the first thing you do for the My Finances app is you go ahead and say what's your balance on both like current account and savings account, and then you work off of that. You know, we work from that point on, and then month later, you know, you add your incomes and outcomes, and then month later you check your balance, and you know, you actually check your bank account and everything, and you make sure that, you know, this is exactly the amount of money I have, and you have this difference between what, you know, your how well you kept track of your finances, basically. So if something is missing, you spend more money and you have less money in your current account, that's fine. You just have that change, and you work off that moment, that date. So what we need to add here is I suppose it is created at, so we're going to use this as the kind of point where we calculate the balances from. So cool. So let me just do exactly the same thing as we did for income and outcome. We just need to, and they're slightly different. So income and outcome very, very similar. Balance is slightly different, so it's going to be a bit more work probably. We need to add the specific templates for balance and so on. But that, you know, similar job anyway. So let's start with the views. So again, I'm going to just copy all of them. So I'm going to just copy outcome, paste it here, go all the way to here first and check, okay, we're going to use BalanceForm and we're going to use balance. Okay, cool. And BalanceForm doesn't exist yet, but I just added it for now. So that's going to be balance. And by the way, I can just replace outcome with balance one by one. So we are going from this point here. Yeah. So replace. Just, you know, all the way to the bottom here. Okay. So that just makes it a little bit faster. Outcome, and then, okay. And then we want to change outcome lowercase with balance lowercase. Starting here, balance. Okay, and probably it's not going to be, okay, it's not going to be income outcome. So first we can just change that. So replace income outcome with balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, we want to replace any leftover outcome from balance list view. Okay. Let me see if there is an instance of that. Okay, balance outcome list. Okay, so let's just replace this, and this. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I can use the income outcome balance form. So that, again, I'll need to refactor that, because what that form does, and it doesn't do that much. My finances, and let's have a look at the form. What it does is it just renders whatever form we give it. So it should work with BalanceForm as well, even though it's very different. The only thing we have to add is this header here saying whatever, it's going to be balance thingy. So yeah, create balance. So we're going to call it Shift F6 income outcome balance, or maybe we can start so it's alphabetical. Balance income outcome form, refactor, and refactor all. So I hope I think it all went through. F6, copy. I'll just copy the name and paste it here. So let me just make sure that we are okay with the update view balance income outcome. It did refactor my code as well, so it took into consideration that this is the template that we're looking for. Okay, so income, so that's gonna stay. Add balance, that's okay. And then we have form, and that form here does, let me see if we have that user in there. Yeah. Okay, so we have header, add balance, okay, save, yep, and then balance created, balance list, yes. And then again, this should be balance income outcome form. We're updating balance, and success, yes. And then balance delete view, confirm delete, yeah, probably the same, confirm delete. So it's gonna just say delete balance, and then are you, yeah, so we can also reuse this, but we also have to specify that we're using it for, so just change the name and say balance income outcome, refactor, and so we can use balance income outcome, confirm delete. And it found it, and it's a balance, so we are deleting this balance. Request, yes. Message, balance deleted successfully, yes. Cool. Okay, so what are we missing here? We're missing some HTML. We're missing balance list and balance detail. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do income outcome list and just change those. So Shift F6. Balance, and the same here, balance income outcome. Okay, and so, but then it's going to be slightly more complicated if we go to the list, obviously. So then right, so now let me just go and see if we have any if statements in the form first. Okay, so the header, there's no if statement, that's fine. Let's go to the confirm delete. No if statement, that's fine, because as you might remember from the last time, I was saying, like, if it's income, like in here, then do this, and else do anything else. But now we have to do elif. Outcome, then do this, and then else, or elif to be explicit, if you want to be explicit, elif list what is, and we need to fix that in views, because I took that out, as I said, like, oh, we're gonna have a separate, I lied that we were gonna have a separate template for balance. We're gonna stick to the same pattern, and so then, you know, it's less confusing, I suppose. List what, balance, and detail what. Balance, okay, and then we have header, yeah, and we can use the same here, but that's the detail. Okay, let me see if we're missing any HTML. No, it's all good. Yeah, okay, let me just see here. Yes. Right, so let's go back here. So we have this balance here, list what, and then we are, so that's elif, that's done. Let me beautify it, and okay, so we need to put this anchor here and change this to balance. And now we have this object ID, object date. So there you go. So we can, so there's a date and there's created at, because those have a date in here, and this is created at. I suppose you can kind of backdate a balance as well. Maybe you did your calculation 2 days ago and you're updating your records today, and you want to just say, hey, I did it 2 days ago, so just count from then. So we're going to make that change very quick, and that's pretty easy because we just go and, oops, what just happened? No, don't do that. I'm gonna just go here and change this model, and just very quickly go and say, oops, BalanceForm. Yeah, just 1 second. I'm gonna just delete that for now. well, it's gonna give me an error. So I'm gonna do my migrations in a second, okay? Because it's not gonna allow me now. So I'm gonna just stop the server for a second so it doesn't give me errors. Okay, so let's go back to HTML. So we do have the date and get type, display type. So do we have type in here? We do have the type and we have the choices. So it's gonna give us the display. Cool, and then the value. Do we have the value? Yes, we have the value, so we can leave that line. And then repetitive. So let me just scroll here. All right, okay. So I can see that here we can put a line break here and take it like this and do if list what is not equal to balance. Okay, so we need to end it here. So if it's not balance, add that information as well. So if it's repetitive, check if object is repetitive and so on. Otherwise it would break because balance doesn't have repetitive field. Okay, so that's the first if check. Cool. So and the only one for the list, by the way. So that's pretty happy coinky dinky. Let's go to the detail. Detail will have a little bit more work for us. So again, let's go from here, and we did add that detail what to balance detail. Okay, detail what balance. Okay, so let's go to detail. We have this, we have the date, we have the type, we have the value. We don't have the repetitive. So let me just go if object repetitive in here. If it's not balance, do all that job here. And that way we say, okay, if it's not balanced, then you go ahead and check if it's repetitive. Otherwise, don't bother because it's going to give us an error. Again, this is going to be our elif. So it's not that hugely different, as you can see. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's very windy on my side, but also very warm. So I'm trying to keep myself cold. And it's kind of strange because I live in Ireland and it's still warm. So it's kind of cool. I can just copy this because it's pretty much just the same thing. If it's this, and again, I can copy this and put that here, beautify, and that's gonna be balance, and these don't exist yet in URLs pattern. So if you're concerned, come on, Mark. If you're concerned that like, hey, we don't have those, yeah, very good. You keep the record well. Okay, cool. That was easy. We just had to get rid of the repetition. The rest is very similar, and we had to add this date. So in a second, we'll add that date. Cool. So we have the HTML done. I forgot about the forms. So let's go to forms. Right here, forms. So in here, it gives us an error. There's no balance form, and that is correct. We need to do that. So let's just add that here. So just copy really and change. So we have value, date, type, repetitive, and we have no comment there. We might as well, because why not? We might as well add that comment there too. It doesn't hurt anyone. Updated at, oh sure, we should have that, no? For all of them, we should have updated that. So let me just add that here, and also add those fields to the income and outcome, because it's a handy information about like when is the last time you did the update on a specific item, if you do. Cool, okay. So we have a lot to change now, a lot to migrate. So okay, we have the comment, but we don't have those. I'm gonna just get rid of those. And so we have the value, date, type, and comment. Do we need anything else for our balance? User, value, type, date. No, that's it. That's all we need. And then we have this nice date picker here, and it's kind of neat because we just had to initiate, like create this class here, and we can reuse it every time we need a widget for date picking. Cool. So BalanceForm is now on. So probably now if I go and try to do make make migrations, and it's asking me about default date. So let's give it a default date, and it's going to be, I don't know, 10th of 2001. Cool. And then we need to migrate. Oops. Expect string. Okay, so it's defaulting. I gave it a string and it's looking for, so let me just make migrations again, no changes. So I made a mistake here. So I need to go here and see what I can do to fix it. Because I said, hey, do put a default. Okay, -1. How can I, as default, I'm gonna put, what can I put in here? A date? Can I put a date there? What if I did 20 of 10 of 2001? Because we all right. No, we don't have any balance, so it shouldn't give me any problems. Let's migrate now. No. Year, month, date. Okay, thank you. So 2001, month, date. I don't know why I go with 2001, but I'm just going with 2001. Oh, come on. Migrate. Thank you. So that's how you fix your mistakes. If you give it a wrong default, you just go to migrations and you check this last migration and you can change it there instead of losing your hair trying to fix it otherwise. Okay, cool. So we have the changes done. We have the form, we have the views, we have the HTML. Last bit is the URLs. So let's go to URLs and let's just copy this. Very similar job. Outcome. So again, I'm gonna just select it. Command R, outcome, change it to balance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And we're going with capital. We start with that one here. Replace. And that's done. Okay, so we have all of those exist somehow. And all right, so actually the last bit will be adding the items to HTML in base. It's all about that base. Okay, so again, this is very similar. We just do the same thing as the last time. So we duplicated this line. We just want to get the balance URL. So create balance and get that URL and save it as finances balance create. And we just want to use it in here. So I suppose, yeah, so that's the balance. I'm going to go above all of them just to keep it in alphabetical order. The same for this. So X, paste it here. Okay, so we have balance at the top and we want to use that here. So if it's this, use this and add balance. And then again, here we add my finances in balance list. And I want to copy this. Copy, paste, Option Command L. My list income, list balance. Okay, now let's start it and see if it works. Let me just close that window. It's too windy. Cool, it seems to be working. Let me refresh and see, and it's not there. So let me actually refresh, and the balance is here. So we can add balance, and as you can see, it's smaller, a shorter form. So let's say I start with like $100 on my account, and I know that I had it like on today. Why is this coming? Why is this like this? Let me go back to models, type, B type choices. So that should be forms, type, date, balance, add balance, date, and the type gives me rent, bills, which is from here, which is rent, bills, car, travel, groceries. So that's the outcome. Let me go here and check. Model is balance. It's weird that it worked. But anyway, oh, need to add that there. So maybe at the beginning. Okay. Restart. Kind of funny. There you go. So that's my current. I have $100, and well, let's start saving. Submit. So we have this balance here. Okay, we have $100 balance, and whatever income we register from that date, I want to add that to that balance, and outcome take it from that balance. Okay, assuming, let's say, okay, that balance is for the beginning of this day, and whatever income happens today, it should kind of add to that balance. Let's go with this. So it seems to be working. So I did list the out balance, and I go in, and I can see that I have those in here. Why there is no edit and delete? Update and delete. Okay, let's see what happened there. Air pollution, no, my finance, and detail. And in detail, I said, okay, if it's outcome, so detail what? Outcome. So let me go back to views and to balance detail. Okay, and there is no detail what? Balance. Okay, it seems to be detail what? Balance. Let me go back here. Outcome, that should be balance. It's here, update, I can update, submit, delete, delete, and the balance is gone. Okay, so we have balance working, and what has to happen is we need to also make sure that if balance doesn't exist, we don't want to allow anyone to create incomes or outcomes, or maybe not. To be honest, no. If you want to add incomes but you didn't add the balance, when we start showing information, what's going on your account, it will tell you, sorry, you don't have balance, so we don't know what's going on exactly. So you have to start with the balance. But anyway, we have all three models connected to the front end, connected to views, URLs, everything, and we are ready to start making it a bit more smart. It's not just add and delete. We also want to be able to show it, make a table with it, and make some charts, show us what's going on in there, and so on. So looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, and see you the next time. Bye bye.